Okay, today we're going to take off the interior door panel of a Vanagon. This one's an 86, and they're actually not that difficult. There's two screws, Phillips screws. One's right there, and the other one's right there. So two Phillips screws, nice and easy. We're going to have one behind here, so we're going to have to pull off this piece here. We can do that. There's two here, so one there, and one in there, and then there's one behind this crank. Now this crank too, you don't take the centerpiece off. This whole plastic piece, we're just gonna pull it, it's gonna pop off, and then you're gonna see the screw there. I'm gonna show you guys that. Okay, so here, I just gave it a good tug, and it can pop. Don't break it, because you see it's actually all the way around here. It's not broken, and you can see there's a screw right here. For the door handle here, there was a little tab just there. I put a screwdriver behind there just to loosen it, and you can actually just pull it out. There we go, just like that, and it's out. And then there you can see right in there, I don't know, it's pretty sunny, but there's a Phillips screw right behind there. So we got there. Normally you wouldn't have two here, but I guess when someone put a speaker in here, they bolted a speaker. However, you can see the speaker can almost stay in because it's just adhered to the panel with these two screws. So it's not actually adhered to the door frame. So, but I'm going to want to disconnect the speaker wires because obviously when I pull this apart, speaker has to be disconnected because I don't think the wires are that long. So we're just going to undo those screws that I talked about, and the two there, and then we'll pop up the panel. And actually, if you look in here, you may be able to see it. Let's see if I can focus there. There's one of the clips right there. There, you can see I'm going to that side of the panel, and I'm going back to the inside. And you can see there's just plastic tabs, and this thing will just pop right out. Okay, so I popped the panel off, and you can see came off easy. There's the panel actually on the ground. Just popped right off nice and easy. And then to get the handle out, because I'm taking the handle out, I was looking inside there. You could barely see anything. So if you, here's the handle here, right? So behind here, there's a screw. So once you pull this forward, there's a screw you just take out. It's a Phillips screw again. I've taken that out. You'll be able to see it. You just pull it forward. It's a mold in the door. And then all you do is just pull this out, and then here. So there's no even screw on the other side. Just slips in, goes in, and you can see actually there's where the screw would go, right there in the handle. So actually quite simple. Okay, so now that I got the handle out, what I'm going to try to do is rebuild it, because when I put the key in there, it's totally jammed. So I was trying to figure out how to get these things apart and save myself from buying a new one. So I cleaned it up with a wire wheel, and lo and behold, on this side I found a little roll pin. You can see that little roll pin there. So I'm going to pound that out, take it apart, and I'll let you guys know if I can free up the tumbler, and then maybe just rebuild it. This way I can keep the same key. Let's see how it comes apart. Okay, so I put it in the vise. If you notice, I have soft jaws here. You can see the roll pin there perfectly. So what I found here is I have a tool, very tiny tool, 1/16 of an inch, and I'm gonna and there you go, right there, 1/16 of an inch, and we're gonna see how well it's gonna come out if we can get that out. But before we do this, it's important, we don't want to lose all the tumblers, is we're gonna put the ignition key in here, then we're gonna try to take it out. Now this might even be a little bit too thick, I'm thinking, but if I can get it moving, I can maybe find a really tiny drill bit or something else just to push it out, but we'll see if we can free it. Okay, so I got the roll pin out, as you can see. There's a hole out probably in there. Anyway, the roll pin is out. You can actually see the hole where it was. There you go. Now the important thing is to leave the key in, and what we're going to do is we're just going to pull this top piece off here, and then we should be able to pull the whole cylinder out. Okay, so I have it apart, and as you can see, this piece earlier was just like this. We took the roll pin out, so we took it out. There's a little spring. I have a new roll pin. So now what we should be able to do is just push this out. We have the key in here, so we can just go like this. Make sure the key's in tight. You don't want everything popping out. There we go. So you can see. So I'm going to pull this out. Sorry guys, that's a nice close-up for you guys. And there we go. That's the key. And you can see there's tons of crud. We're gonna just scrape it out inside. And those I guess grooves you can see in there. There you go, those grooves. Those are what's gotta be cleaned. They fill up with crud. And then all the little keys here, what happens is they all get stuck. So now we're just gonna clean that all out and put it back together. And here we can see I've cleaned it out, and you can see there, all nice and clean everywhere. I'm trying to show you in the sunlight, but there you go. A little rough just from the corrosion, but all the gunk is out. So that's what matters. Okay, I've cleaned it all up. I've actually used a kit like this, and I've run it through. So I've really cleaned it up on the inside. Now I'm just gonna give it a quick shot of paint. There's the key there, and I've even cleaned it up with a wire wheel. I didn't want to take these all out. I still may. I just got to keep them all in order, because once you take the key out, if they all go flying out, that's it. Good luck putting them back together. Okay, so I've taken all the pins out the cylinder, and you can actually see now they move very, very easy, all of them. They all move very easy. And I'll be assembling it, because these are the problem with the tumblers is they weren't moving, and that's why the key wasn't working. So you can actually see the corrosion to the steel here, but it's cleaned up and it'll work fine. I'll pop it back in and it will work just fine. And here we have our door handle done. Still see a bit of grease. This is the screw I was telling you all about later, or earlier I should say, right in there. And that's the only one you have to undo to get the handle open. And then if you look at it from the back, there it is, just like that. All done. Now we just pop the interior panel on, and away she goes. She's all done. Key's working. Job all done.